freaking pumped to be doing this tonight. You guys, we have so many rock stars lined up for you, and we're going to be going over every way that you can work this business, literally under 3 categories. I am pumped. I'm going to be doing the Instagram portion, but first off, we've got a Facebook portion and a sip and sample. So real quick, before we get started, put in the chat, what avenue are you wanting to learn how to work your business more, or what is your main way of working the business now? Do you work Instagram, Facebook, or are you more of a belly-to-belly, sip and sample kind of a person? I'm kind of curious, like, what kind of audience we have. Like I said, I'm all Instagram, but I am so excited to learn about belly-to-belly. I got to Ambassador Diamond just using Instagram and Facebook, but mostly Instagram. I'm like really excited to get more into the belly-to-belly. I was so inspired by, how do you say your name? Is it Ilana? Yeah, perfect. Okay, so I was so inspired by her because she's been getting all these people to Starbucks, and I was freaking pumped. I'm like, dude, how are you doing that? Because now I just moved to a new town. I'm like, I need to know how to do this because that looks like so much fun. So let's get started. Ilana, go ahead. I'm unmuting you. Tell us a little bit about you, and I want to know all the things about the different samples.
All right, awesome. So hi, everybody. My name is Ilana Yerman. I'm a presidential diamond, and I live in Florida. I actually just hit my 3-year anniversary. Last month, I went presidential in March, and this business has just been incredible. When I joined, I had a 4-month-old and a 16-month-old. My babies are only 11 months apart, so I had a very busy household. My second daughter was born 4 days before my first daughter even turned 1. And so I gained a lot of weight. I was over 215 pounds. I was desperate to get healthy, and I wanted to make money without having to leave my kids. So that was the reason that I joined. I didn't want to have to leave them and, watch them grow up through text messages while I was at work and all that other stuff. But I literally am from New York and was living in a town in Northport. So there's not a lot of people that I knew when I started. And that was why it took me 5 months to join. I was one of those people that would I call it bubbling. Some people call it ghosting, where you see that bubble and you message someone and they read it, but they're not responding. That was me. And then finally I saw this girl get a $10,000 bonus, and I messaged her. So when I decided to join, I had to literally start fresh. I think I had 200 friends on Facebook, and I literally never posted on Facebook ever because I was one of those people that was like, I'm not putting my baby online. People are going to steal their pictures and sell them. I thought all that stuff. But I wanted to work from home, so I really had to get over it quick. So I learned about the block button, which was really great. So anyway, I decided, okay, you know what? This was my famous saying. I said, I am going to become a celebrity in my town. There's not going to be anywhere that I go to eat or go to grocery shop that somebody's not going to recognize me. That is my goal. I used to say that to my upline all the time. So this is what I did. So my upline joined 9 years ago, and there was no social media back there. So she built her business belly to belly, but I wanted to build mine social and belly belly. So she said, you need to do parties. And I'm like, well, how do I do that? Right? I don't know anybody. So I started to friend people, right? Do all the things that you kind of hear in the beginning, but I kept getting this answer I don't have money right now, or next Friday. Next Friday came, and then, they didn't have the money and they wanted to do it next Friday. So I started to think to myself, how can I get in front of people that have money? Because I don't have time for nobody with no money, right? I'm trying to work here, try to make some money myself. So I thought to myself, all right, I'm going to go to gym Facebook pages. So every business, okay, you guys are probably going to write this down. So every single business has, in your town, has a Facebook page. So for instance, we have a gym called UFit. So I go to their page on Facebook and I click on the review tab. When you click on the review tab, you're going to friend request every single person that wrote a positive, happy review. Okay, so now you're expanding your network with people that care about their health. They're spending money on a gym membership. They obviously have the time to spend on bettering themselves, and they're probably going to be interested in your products, right? So now you're expanding your local network, which is huge if you want to do parties belly to belly, right? You can expand your network all over, but if you want to do local parties, then you need to expand it locally. So I would start doing that. So I would go to gym pages, then I would find boot camps that I would friend from. I would do spas, and then I really started getting creative and was like, I'm going to go to all the fancy hotels. right? And so those people have money. So I started going to like the Ritz-Carlton, and I started going to that review section, and I started friending all the people that wrote a review on the Ritz-Carlton. And like, I just started doing stuff like that, right? Spas in the Ritz-Carlton, tiki huts at the Ritz-Carlton, you name it, I was friending people. But when it comes to gyms, I was friending those people, and then I would call the gym. And I would say, hey, my name is Alana. I'm the local health and wellness rep in the area. And I wanted to know if it was okay if I come and set up a table and offer your clients free samples as customer appreciation. So all gyms are different, but a lot of them would say yes. Some would say no. Just depends on how big they are and what their corporate rules are. So every other Monday or Tuesday, because honestly, you guys, people, they drink, they party over the weekend. So Mondays, they're like, I need to get, healthy. I need to work out. So between like 5 and 8, I would be set up at the gym on a Monday or a Tuesday. And the crazy thing is, if I made my greens live and those people accepted me, by the time they walked into the gym after work, they recognized me from Facebook. And they would be like, I have no idea how I'm on your page, but I just watched you make those this morning and I was actually curious. And I'm like, well, here you go, try some, right? And so now I'm telling everybody in this gym that I have this program. It's 90 days and it's 40% off today. And if we talk about their goals, and I sign them up as customers right there on the spot in the gym. Okay. If not, then like I'll sign them up for my phone. If maybe, they don't have their wallet with them, some of them will run out to the car because you don't really bring your wallet in the gym. And then I'll sign them up, or I'll get them on my Facebook if they're not already there. So say there's someone I'm meeting that's just walking by in the gym and they're not yet my friend, then I connect with them. And this is how I intertwine this into parties. Okay. So now maybe I'm in the gym on Monday, but I do a party every single Wednesday in Northport still for 3 years. So in other words, if I connected with that person in the gym, they're watching me throughout the week. Maybe they didn't become my customer right there at the table, but now I'm messaging them and inviting them to my local party. Okay. So I decided when I was new, I was broke. I was buying Blitz cards and I was handing them out and I was doing the things, but I thought to myself, I felt like I was relying on them to call me. So I think it's really important that while you are out talking to people in person, that you are taking the initiative to connect with them on social media and not just give them the Blitz card. That's where this idea came from for doing a weekly Starbucks party. Yes, I always connect with them on Facebook. And here's my biggest tip. So if you're talking to somebody in person and you're about to leave the conversation, they're interested, but they can't buy right now, you say, I would love to have you on my Facebook page. I do lots of promotions all the time. You should be on there so you can see when I do special deals. And then they're like, sure, that's a great idea. And I say, let me have your phone. It's easier for me to look myself up than it is the other way around, right? And the reason that I take their phone and friend request me is because now I'm in control of confirming it. If I search them on my phone, they might walk away and not accept me. And then they're not my friend. They're not seeing my stuff. So I always try to get their phone or tell them to type it in. And then I'll just touch like my finger to their phone and be like, oh, yep, that's me. Friend request me real quick. And then I go and I screenshot their friend request so I can follow up with them and invite them to parties. Okay, so that's something that I do in gyms. And then as far as blitzing goes in person, I know a lot of people have blitzing questions. So for instance, like my favorite places to go blitzing would be like if I'm in a grocery store, like if I'm in Walmart or like a Target, I personally I like to feel people out a little bit. So like I like the diaper section because there's usually, moms there, the produce section, the cosmetic aisles, like where there's makeup and face stuff. And then I'll just usually to break the ice, just be like, oh my God, girl, I love your shirt. Like, you might not love her shirt, you guys, but you just have something pulling at your heart saying, oh, I need to talk to this person, and if you walk away and you're like, damn, I should have talked to that person. Like that could have been your next ambassador. That could have been your next Ruby. You don't know. So you have to get over yourself really, really quickly and just go in for it. Nobody's ever been rude to me. And I literally blitz daily. I used to take time out of my day. Like I used to say, okay, I'm going to put the kids in the stroller and go blitz this entire strip of stores. There was like a pool store, a Sally's, a hair salon, a Starbucks, or whatever. And I just kind of walk in there and ask them if they would put my card up in their break room. And I would do that. But now I don't really do that way anymore, although you can. But what I do is I work it in between my day. So like I always give this example. I had to give blood a few weeks ago and the lady was like, oh, are you off today? And I'm like, no, I just work from my phone, and she's like, oh, I've been looking for something like that, but I don't feel like it's real. And I'm like, oh girl, it's real. I'm like, let's be friends on Facebook. You can follow me. Boom. She came to a party. And now she's a distributor on my team, right? I went for a massage the other day and I did the same thing. I told the girl, I was like, you're so cute. You'd be so good at what I do. I love getting massages during the day. And she's like, oh, okay, well, what do you do? And I'm like, let's be friends on Facebook. Boom, I'm calling her when this Zoom is over to sign her up. So like I'm intertwining belly to belly with Facebook all the time. And then I'm following up through Facebook and inviting them to parties. So I'm doing it both ways. So that's how I do that. So some suggestions to friend from are like gyms, salons. Oh, even like if there's surgeons in your area that do tummy tucks, that do liposuction, that do facelifts, that do any of that stuff, anti-aging, right? You can literally go to their business pages and friend all of those people. Those people have money. So that's what I'm doing. So here's a tip. Okay, so say you have a party scheduled already. All you do, you guys, is pick a time, a place, and a location. So a lot of people say, does Starbucks care if you go there? And they don't. They don't care at all. I don't call them. I don't make a reservation. It's Starbucks. They have free Wi-Fi so people can go sit there and use their computers and hang out. That's what it's for, and to drink coffee. So I just make a flyer. I pick my day, time, and I put Starbucks with their address. I just Google their address. And then I go into my Facebook feed. So not my page, but when you open Facebook, you know how you can search a profile, like a name? You can literally type in. So like I live here, like in Sarasota. So if I say friends that live in Sarasota, it will literally pop up only my friends in that area. And I will go message them and tell them about my party. So you can do that in your town. You can do that anywhere. So you could be super specific when you're inviting them, looking just for those local people. You know what I mean? So I do that all the time. Also, I personally like business cards over Blitz cards, but I do have both. I like business cards that feel a little bit more professional. So you can make those super cheap, like on Vistaprint or whatever. I've also done networking groups and networking events where I'm a vendor. So we have women's networking groups where there's women that are real estate agents. There's women that are, they own salons, they do other MLM companies. I mean, there's all type of business professional people. And so I want to be around that type of person. So I will go to women's networking groups and sometimes I'll speak for 2 minutes. I might pay to set up a table during there and have 10 minutes of time to speak in front of maybe 60 women and give them some samples. But I'm trying to get myself involved in quality business-minded people already, because we all know that quality over quantity is very important. You can have 100 pennies or 4 quarters, right? I want to be around those quality people. So I'm constantly networking and getting out there. And doing that as well, and just giving out my cards. All right, so I know most of the focus was on my Starbucks parties. So basically, you guys, I show up 20 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes the latest, before it starts, and I pull a bunch of tables together. Most Starbucks have one really long table in them, and the rest are just kind of like all over the place. And then some Starbucks have a patio on the outside. So it just depends where you live and what your weather's like, is how you're going to do it. So if I see one guy with his little computer sitting at that long table, I'll ask him if he, I'll say, I have some friends coming. Would you mind, scooting over? And then I fill the place up, If not, I'll go on the patio and pull all the tables together. But you definitely want cups. So you just get cups from the dollar store, Walmart, the grocery store. They're super cheap, little Dixie cups, and cold water. Warm water doesn't do well with greens. You want it to be cold water for sure. So I really can't stress that enough, because so many new people bring warm water and then we need ice, which is fine, but it's just better to have cold. Catalogs, you guys, I know if you don't do any belly to belly, you probably don't even buy catalogs. You can buy catalogs through your eSuite. So I buy it's like I don't know, $20 for 100. So I bought like, 200 of them, and I keep them in my car. I keep them in my bag. And when I'm sitting at Starbucks, I have the table set up before the guests come. Okay, so I've got my few samples on the table. I am not sampling, and I am not talking about 70 products. I'm talking keto coffee. I'm talking greens. Now I'm talking reds. And that's really it, like maybe collagen. It just depends. If I have a bunch of older people there, then I might add in, the collagen or anti-aging. It just depends on what you're doing. No offense, but that's just how I do it. Okay, so I know it's a lot of info. So we've got that. And then I always say, okay, so here's the thing about parties, and I really want to touch base on this. The beautiful thing about this business is we can do it with our kids. We can do it with our family. But when you're going to a Starbucks, if you have to bring your kids, and sometimes that happens, right? I was a single mom for almost 2 years, so I know what it's like, but I did pay a babysitter. If your kids can't sit and be quiet, don't bring them to Starbucks, because people are coming there that you might have never met before. You might have met them on social media. You might have met them in a Blitz. And if they're coming to listen to what you have to say and they're taking time out of their evening after work, they don't want to hear your kids screaming. So if your kids can sit with an earphones and a tablet, totally fine. We love kids. But if they can't listen, leave them at home with your husband or your boyfriend or a babysitter. They can deal with it. Like I said, I started with a 4-month-old. Back then I was, when I was with Mario, he worked in the sun all day, and I was like, peace out, dude. I'll be back in an hour and a half. I got to go do a party. You can handle it. This is your kid too. I didn't make it alone, right? Like, there's no option, right? You have a goal. You join this business. If you want to do parties, go and do them professionally. Okay. And then the only other thing I really have to say, and then I can answer questions, is most Starbucks, when you walk out of the bathroom, they have a bulletin board. So you can go put your Blitz card on the bulletin board. Make sure you get labels. 8160 is the size, 8160. You put that, you can go to avery.com and just put your name, phone number, and your email address and stick them on all your Blitz cards and your catalogs. You just print it right through your printer. And you can take a pin. They usually have little pins up there, and you can pin it there, and just people, you would be surprised. People will call you. Not every day, but I've definitely had people call me from that stuff. So I think that's it. Do you guys have any specific questions for me, or?
Okay, so we definitely have some questions. I'm sitting over taking so many notes. Okay, so first thing, whenever you're doing the sip and sample, do you have a little script you go over? Do you follow anything specific, or what do you say? Oh, hold on, you're muted. 1 second. I gotta find you. All right, you should be good. Oh wait, nope. Yep, you're good.
Yep, I'm good. So do I have a script, as far as what I say during the party?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll just kind of bring it all together real quick and do it like I'm role playing at the party. Okay. So I'm sitting at the table and everybody's there. Everybody's kind of chit chatting, and I get loud for a second. I say, hey everyone, I'm so excited that you're here. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Alana Yerman. I've been with It Works for 3 years, and I'm super excited to share these products with you tonight. And then I just kind of have them all flip open their product catalog, and I start with the wrap. I always tell them about the wrap. I ask if anybody wants to wrap, because I wrap a ton of people in the Starbucks bathroom, and that's a quick $25 wrap cash for you right there. If they don't, then I just tell them what it is. I always bring a dried wrap, by the way. So if you've wrapped, I wash it really good and I save it, and I keep it in my party bag. Okay. So I bring that with me, and I start saying, so we started off with this crazy wrap thing. It's tightens, it tones, and it firms your skin in 45 minutes. It also detoxes you. And I explain to them, I say, because I kind of feel out the room. You can see what people are thinking. A lot of people kind of think it's the wrap doesn't work. And I say, the biggest misconception with this wrap is that it's weight loss, when it's actually a skincare product. And I'll show them on my phone some of my wrap results. I'll pass it around and let them feel it. And then I move on to the greens. Sometimes I'll touch base on the defining gel. If I sample the defining gel, it's real quick. I put some on my finger and I put it on the back of their hand, a tiny little blurb of it. And I tell them to rub it in and smell it. And then I go to the greens. And then I say, that's what the wrap smells like. And then I say, these greens, They're one of our top selling products. They alkalize the body, which is super important, so that you don't get flus and cancers and illnesses. Your kids can drink them. Mine have personally drank them since 6 months old, and we're going to sample those to you tonight. And then I'll have one of the girls on my team, like usually Kelsey helps out, so she'll be making the samples and passing it around me to everybody. And then we'll just ask them what they all think of it. We have fun, if it's good, if they don't like it, it's all good. And then we move on to the reds, and then we tell them, what the reds do, how they help with fighting free radicals. And you're getting, your greens are your land and sea veggies, and your reds are your antioxidants and your berries, And so then we tell them about that, and we let them sample that. Then we do the coffee. So I do the coffee, but we do the chocolate greens, but after the coffee, so we do the keto coffee, and we tell them all about that. It burns fat, gives you mental clarity, gives you focus, all that stuff. And then, I say it helps with your hair, all of that from the collagen. We let them sample that hot. I usually just ask Starbucks for a cup of hot water, and we bring our frother with us and froth it right there in front of them. And we show them how it's light, it's creamy. We pass that around, and then we say, if you like chocolate, you also can detox with your coffee and add the chocolate greens. And then we put the chocolate greens in the remaining of that coffee. We don't make 2. We make 1 with a bunch of water. Okay. And we always make 1 of everything, by the way. So you're not like making a ton of samples of each. You're just taking 1 greens, putting it in a 16-ounce, bottle of water, shaking it up, and putting like this much in a cup. You're not giving them a whole Dixie cup. It's this much, enough for a sip, and they get to try it. And then, so once I go through the products that I'm going to sample out, I say, so as you notice in the catalog, there's 2 different prices. There's a retail price and there's a loyal customer price. Everybody wants a loyal customer price, right? And then they all say, yeah. And then I say, great. So the way that you get that is by letting whoever invited you tonight help you for 90 days hit your goal. That means that you're going to get a product or 2, whatever you want, a month for 3 consecutive months. And in return, we give you 40% off, plus you get to earn free product credit as well. And I'm like, doesn't that sound amazing? And they're like, yeah, that's really awesome, blah, blah, blah. So I do that. So then I say, or we have another option, which is you can actually use these products and get paid. And then I whip out the monthly income chart. And I pass that baby around. And then I say, that's what I do. If I have rubies there, I'll say this person's a ruby. If I have emerald, diamond, triples, whatever, we'll talk about it there. Kind of like a little mini try it at that point. And then we'll just talk to them about it. And then I thank everybody, and I ask them what their goals are. And I just pull up my website and ask them what they want. They've got the catalog right in front of them, and we just start putting them through. I mean, it's really pretty easy. We bang out a party in 45 minutes, an hour the most, just talking about, those products. And then depending on what they want to do, just, if we have any deals going on, kits or whatever, I tell them how that works, $99 to get started. And that gets you some free samples. You can use them, you can sell them, you can do videos with them, and so on and so forth. So that's how I do that.
That is really awesome. So basically, yeah, like a kind of like a try it. So if you haven't ever been to a try it, you need to get to one.
Yeah.
And you just shrink it down a little bit, and there it is. Sip and sample. Very simple.
Yeah. And honestly, so I was always taught when I signed a distributor to launch them within 7 to 10 days, whether I go to their house or Starbucks. And so if somebody wants to do their house, I'll go to their house. But I always feel like I need to be launching myself. And so that's why I created this weekly party, because I always want to set the example of what you should be doing. So if somebody wants to launch at the Starbucks, then I tell them that my whole team is going to come and support them. And that's when everybody comes and we fill the place up. So it's multiple distributors at that point. Like if they want to launch themselves in a public place, and I'm going to open it up to my entire team. And now you're killing a bunch of birds with one stone. It's because if you are a mass DT enroller, I was starting to feel overwhelmed at one point in my business, because I'm like, okay, this person wants to launch on a Tuesday. This person wants to launch on a Thursday. I can't, I had little babies. So I'm like, okay, Starbucks works for you. Wednesday, 7 o'clock. Perfect. If I sign 3 DTs at Wednesday at 7 o'clock, worked for them at Starbucks, I launched every single one of them at the same time, at the same place. And then I invited everybody else too. So that's what I love about the Starbucks parties, you guys, is you can be open-minded, and your newbie might not even know you're going to be there on Wednesday. but you can ask them, since you know you're going to be there on Wednesday, if that works for them. Or if they prefer for you to go to their house, that's fine. I will totally do that, but that's like leveraging your time.
Okay, I totally love that. And it makes so much sense. And I love how it's super like comfortable. I feel like public places are so comfortable too, because it kind of just takes the pressure off of everybody. No one's got to clean their house. It's easy.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you have people, you're inviting your potentials, you met them on Facebook from the gym, or maybe you met them while you were shopping. And so you send them an invite and say like, okay, Wednesday, Starbucks, 7 p.m. How do you like send a follow-up like, hey, it's tonight at 7, are you still coming? Or like, how does that work?
Okay, so yes, like after I invite them and I've already talked to them, say I've invited them and it's like 3 days prior to Wednesday, right? Well, what I do throughout the rest of the week is like this is what I want to say. I write them down on paper. And I'm really not even a paper person except for certain things, but I write them on paper. I write them on paper even if they're in my head before I message them. And then what I do is I interact on their pages, so I'm in their mind throughout the next few days until it comes. So they see, oh, a lot of like my post of my baby. Oh, that's right, her party is on, Wednesday. Like I'm kind of staying fresh in their mind. And then like the day before, I'll message them and I'll be like, hey girl, I can't wait to see you tomorrow. I'm so excited. I've got lots of freebies for you. You're going to have so much fun. By the way, you're more than welcome to bring a friend if you want to, and then I'll tell them to bring people, because when people start bringing people, you can double up real quick, and so that's it. That's basically what I'm saying. And then the day of, I also do that again. I say, hey girl, I'm super excited. Just confirming your seat. We fill up really fast. You're coming in, right? And then they confirm with me or whatever they say. And then I go from there.
Okay, perfect. And then the last thing that was asked was, okay, so how do you keep it, like if you're really shy, what is your best tip for somebody who's like gets really intimidated from being in front of people?
That's my bestie, Kelsey. So, okay. So, if you're nervous about being in front of people, you just have to try it. I mean, if they're showing up and they're there, you might be a little bit nervous, but they're there to hear you, and so you're gonna end up signing people. And so I think just breathing and going is really all I can tell you. There's this book that I really like. It is called The Subtle Art of Not Giving AF, and it's a really good book. It teaches you how to give all the right Fs and not the wrong Fs, and most people give all the wrong Fs. So if you maybe get that book, you maybe won't care so much about, oh my God, I'm so nervous to talk about them. You'll start giving the right Fs, like, oh my God, if I don't talk to them, what am I losing? What are you like? That's the better way to think about it. And so it's all a mind shift, and that's where personal growth and development comes into, which is really important. I fought that for a good year into my business, and until I really started digging in to books, it changed my mindset completely. And I know what's important, why I'm doing what I'm doing, and I get a little nervous here and there, but I attack it. And so I think that that's just a mindset, and you can easily work on that through personal growth.
Okay, I absolutely love all of that. And then the rest of the questions you answered basically through everything you said. I'm like seriously so pumped, because I know so many people get so comfortable behind the screen. And honestly, you guys, like from when I first started, I would not even, like, if somebody even asked what I did, like, put a 1 in the chat if you relate to this. If somebody asks you what you do, you freeze and you like choke on your spit and like you don't even move. You're just like, oh my God, I don't even know what to say. Like you just start freaking out, having a heart attack a little bit. That was me. Like in the beginning, like you guys, I was so afraid. And now I actually get so pumped just to be like, dude, I work from home. Like it's epic. I don't have to go to work every day. Like my life is great. Okay. So, I think that transformed over like a few months. And it was just the more I did it, the more confident I got. So I feel like even just coming from that standpoint, even though I'm not belly to belly full time, whenever I'm out in public and somebody asks me, I'm hype about it. So just do it. The more you do it, the better you get at it, and you won't ever get good at it until you do it. So I love that. Okay. So let's go ahead and move on. I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys a little bit about Instagram. I'm going to give you like a slight rundown on how to work it, what to do, all the things. Okay. So I've been on Instagram. I've been doing Instagram for for a while. I worked Facebook a little bit in the beginning, but after I went Double Diamond, I went Double Diamond in 11 months. Okay, so a little bit about me. I started the business because I was a teen mom, super broke, struggling. And I was at my breaking point when my husband was working about 70 hours a week, and I was a full-time nursing student, and I really wasn't ever seeing my baby. And when I was seeing her, it was just for a few moments here and there, and it was just hectic with studying and school and all the things. And we still couldn't pay the bills. And I was getting so irritated because my husband's gone all the time. I'm at school. And when I graduate school, I'm going to be working all the time. And my baby's going to be in daycare. And neither of us are going to see her. And we're still not going to be able to be living life. Like, yeah, bills would be paid once I graduated, but that's it. So I was looking for something else. I was praying to God, like, this could be it. Like, I was obviously new to the whole adulting thing. And I'm like, dude, like, this cannot be what people do to, like, live. Like, this is not what I thought my parents' life was like. This is not what I don't want to live like this. And, I was really depressed over it. And I was like, there was, like, several nights where I was just, like, crying. Like, I literally hate everything about my life. This is what I didn't want to happen. And that's when It Works came in. And funny story, met my first person ever that I ever saw did It Works in a gym. And you know what? I entered the raffle. She texted me one time. I told her, text me. She asked me to have a party. I said, text me later. I had to see if I can get anybody to come because I have no friends. Okay, I was a teen mom. Everybody ditched me, obviously. So then I was on Facebook. That girl never followed up with me. I was on Facebook. Somebody was giving away a wrap again. So yes, I was one of the annoying people who entered every free giveaway. I entered the giveaway. I won the wrap. And I was like, what the heck? And I love the wrap. I was kind of like a hater at first, like that doesn't work kind of a thing, but I secretly wanted to try it. So when I tried it for free and it worked, I was mind blown. And she followed up with me every single day, y'all, for like maybe a week and a half. Like, I don't know. It was I'm like, why are you talking to me? Like, we don't even know each other, but you're still talking. And so, but I didn't honestly think she was annoying or weird. She was becoming my friend. Like, and it wasn't just business talk. It was just like, funny, like friend talk, like whatever I was talking about, like on Facebook, like she was just talking to me. And I'm like, okay, this girl's like weirdly nice, but I'll take it. Like, I don't have any friends, so cool. And so, and what really got me excited was that she was offering to bring me to, like, for me to come over and do like a party at her house with like her team. And I'm like, okay, maybe this is how I'll make friends. And so anyways, I ended up getting started and I didn't even know what I was doing. And I was the slowest starter ever because, like I said in the beginning, I would crap my pants if anybody dared ask me what I did for income, okay? And so I got started. I took 30 days to get my fourth loyal customer, got my shopping spree. And then I went to an event which sparked my like insane fire, like I could do this. So on Ambassador Diamond on stage at $30,000 a month sounded a whole lot better than what I was doing at the moment. So I started getting to work. I figured out how to do it. My 4th month in, I went ruby. My 5th month, I went emerald, 10th diamond, 11th double diamond. Then like about a year later, triple. And then a little bit over a year, presidential. And then 6 months later, ambassador diamond. So I've been in for 4 years. Okay, life's been crazy. A lot's changed. But I've been primarily working social media. And I am so stoked because, I just recently moved from Charlotte, North Carolina to Savannah, Georgia. Honestly, for the change of scenery, I wanted something different. And I wanted to be the only rap girl here so I could like literally change the entire like graph of like this state and this area because nobody, and I'm not even kidding, I have like not seen one person here and none of the people I've talked to even know what It Works is. So it is a golden like mine here. I'm like loving it. But anyways, so I got here. I'm excited. Here's how you do Instagram, okay? Every single day, I'm on stories like my life depends on it. You've got to be posting videos every single day, making sure like little clips and stuff of you like making your keto coffee, using celery, using, drinking the reds, the collagen, whatever your product is. And I'll say this too, like kind of like how Alana was saying with her demonstration, like don't get caught up in having to know all of our products or using all of our products. You pick 3 to 4 products that just spark your like interest, you're excited, you want to use them. You use those products and you use them every single day on your story. You talk about it every single day. Like you love coffee, great. Use it every day in your story. It's not annoying. Everybody loves to see it. It sparks their interest. And I want you to think for one quick second, how many times do you see an advertisement on Instagram, on Facebook, on your TV before you actually go do the thing, okay? So like whenever I see stuff on Instagram, like I'm a sucker for boutiques. But anyway, so they'll come up in my feed once, and then it comes up twice, and then I click it. but I don't buy it. And then like maybe the third time I'm like checking more, kind of like more in depth, or maybe I'll buy the third time, I don't know. But the fourth time, I'm definitely gonna buy it by then. And then it continuously sucks me in and my curiosity is piqued. So make sure you're consistently doing it and showing people, 1, your results, 2, how much you love it, 3, how do you make it, what do you do with it, all of those things. So start really focusing on just those few products on your story every day and make it personable, not copy and pasted, not spammy, not like, oh, I took this from somebody else. Like use it yourself and share your results with that. And then that's going to be your kind of like where you're going to start getting your customers from. And then also sharing your life. Like, what do you got going on? Like, do you got kids? Like, what are you doing every day? You're a stay-at-home mom. And, you know, I don't want anybody in here, if you're a stay-at-home mom, I do not want you to say, well, I'm boring. Because guess what? Every other stay-at-home mom is doing the same thing as you are today. So great. Now you guys can relate. So talk about stay-at-home mom life. Like, what are you doing? Are you doing laundry? Give little tips. Like, do you have a cleaning hack, a laundry hack? Like, is there something you do every day that just like keeps your routine going? Little things like that is what people thrive on. Pick about, I would say about 3 to 5 things that like really define you. So that could be for me, for example, I love Disney World. I am really into like all things natural, like kind of like a crunchy mom, if you know what that is, but being really kind of like holistic. I am, you know, I love eating good food. So like nutritious, healthy, organic, also fitness, and I love shopping at HomeGoods. So all of those things are like my main topics, and I talk about them all the time on my feed. And so anybody that loves those same things sees that on my page, they love it, they follow me, and they're like addicted to watching what I do. Exactly like how your children, or maybe even you, watch YouTube and you're like, I'm obsessed with these people for what reason? Not really any reason, they just like video their life. And so they're making a lot of money on that. This is what you do for your Instagram and show people that, and you're gonna start gaining a following. Okay, and yeah, shout out to the dads too. Stay-at-home dads, you're the same exact way, or maybe you work, then you're relating to the other like millions and pretty much, like unless you're an It Works dad, like all other dads out there can relate in that instance where they're like, hey, like I work full time, I've got, you know, a wife, I've got kids, or maybe you don't have a wife, maybe you just got the kids. Like all those things relate to you too, and you're gonna find your market as well. So you gotta go out there and find the people that relate to you and share that on your stories every single day. So on average, I have about 8 to 10 slides on my Instagram story a day. Sometimes it's like 15, but very rarely do I put it a lot, so it's like dots. If you have like little polka dots at the top of your story, that's too much. Okay, so it needs to just be like sharing what you're doing, you know, what do you like, hacks, things like that, like good quality content is what's going to bring people into you, and sharing your personality. And I cannot stress this enough, but being yourself, that's what's really going to pull people in. Okay. And so once they are following you, right, you can swipe up and see, hey, I've got people watching my feed. Who's watching it? Interact on their profile. You can go down and tap all the circles of everybody that has a story that watched your story and respond, like react to them, talk to them, build relationships through that. Be a friend. Remember, the lady who signed me up talked to me every single day. So go through and like see what those people got going on, build that relationship with them, and like just have fun with it. Act like kind of like remove It Works from the situation and become friends with people. And then you add It Works on top of that. So then you're gonna say something simple to them. You guys, I never use scripts. I never use like any sort of anything. I just say whatever's on my mind. And so by doing that, they can sense like just how authentic that is, and they are more likely to respond. So if I swipe up and I send a message, I'll just say something simple like once I'm like, okay, I've been talking to them for a bit, we've obviously connected on a like personal relationship. I'm like, hey, you know, I see that you watch my stuff all the time, and I just feel like it would be really dumb if I didn't at least ask, have you ever considered doing what I do for extra income, or like, could you even use some? And a lot of times they're like, honestly, I'm just so obsessed with watching your wife. I feel like I just couldn't do it. Boom. They want to do the business, but they're not confident. And guess what? Nobody's confident when they get started. So that's your little time to step in and say, hey, okay, great. I can teach you how to do this and be successful. And just start talking to them like a normal human being and not freaking out and, oh my God, a potential. Talk to them like it's your friend. If your best friend comes to you and says, hey, I want to do the business, talk to this new person on Instagram how you would talk to your best friend. Like a person, nice, just like open, light, airy conversation that doesn't have to be scripted. It doesn't have to be any certain way. The right person's going to join regardless of what you say. So, and I message that off of that daily. I'm always building relationships. Commenting on photos is still very important when you go down your feed. A really good rule of thumb, especially if you don't have a lot of time to do the business, like maybe you're working full time or you're in school full time or whatever you got going on, then you just if you can, like if you're cooking dinner, like I'm stirring the stuff with my left hand and then I'm like tap, 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 swipe. Like I'm liking everything while I'm going. If I'm doing stuff with the kids, it's just like easy, just motion. And then I go through and comment throughout the day as well, just commenting on people's photos and just saying like simple, nice things like I would to somebody that I went to school with or I know personally, and building that relationship. As far as following goes, I follow every single day, and this is crucial, okay? And here's some tips that like I've kind of figured out. I go back and forth a little bit, but now I figured out that the best way to get follow backs from people, being private is crucial in that, okay? If you're public, a lot of times you're not gonna get a lot of follow backs. I don't understand this logic, but for some reason, I'm assuming it's because the curiosity of like, who is this? Like, I want to see. And so they'll actually go through and click, and then they follow back, and they're not going to unfollow you right away. So anyways, public I do public now that I have a lot of followers. I only have like 9,200 or something like that. But before I had a lot of followers, I started this with 200 followers. I was private all the way up until I hit 9,000. Just kind of giving you a rule of thumb. And every time I went public before that and tried to follow, I would literally follow like 1 million people and get like 5 follow backs. So I figured out private is the way to go for that, and then go public whenever you can using hashtags. Using hashtags is so crucial. And just making all of your posts very relatable, very like, really just going in depth with what do you have going on personally, and just using your everyday life into making good content for your feed. So a lot of times I get especially for my team, what am I supposed to post? Or like, I don't do a lot, or I'm a stay-at-home mom, dude. Like, what am I supposed to be talking about? So every single week, my family does one fun outing. Like that's like our law, like our family law. We go do one fun thing. It could be simple stuff like going to the ice cream shop, going to, a new park, or just going to sightsee somewhere new. Or maybe somewhere we've been, or I just haven't gotten photos or whatever. We just do one thing fun. And what I do is I make us all wear nice outfits. I'm not saying like make your husband wear like a button up or anything. I'm just talking about like fresh clothes that don't have stains on them. And then you go out, you get lots of photos that day. Like pictures of, if you have more than one kid, like one kid, the other kid together. You and your husband, you and one kid, one and the other kid, you and all the kids, your whole family, like all the pictures. I edit them all. The day we get home, I put them in a photo album on my phone, and it's called IG Pics that I can choose from when I need them. So if you are going out once a week and you're taking multiple photos of yourself, okay, and this means you're getting ready one time a week, then you're always gonna have content for the entire week. You've got tons to talk about, tons to do, and you can constantly just use that content for saying like, oh my gosh, like you're about to open spots for your team. Great, you already have a picture for it, and you don't even have to get ready today. And so that is the best way I can tell you for keeping up with content. But on Instagram, content is important. Photo quality is important. Like on Facebook, you can just post a picture of you like, I don't know, like it won't get as many likes, but on Facebook, it's more acceptable to post like a bad lighting photo, like not really a big deal. On Instagram, bad lighting photos don't get any, like they don't get attention like they would on Facebook. So it's important to make sure like the quality is better for your Instagram. And I do not put the same post on Instagram that I do on Facebook. They're always different. Otherwise, why would somebody follow you on both? There's no purpose because you're giving them the same content on both platforms. Okay, so somebody said, people follow me because I follow them. Yes. They will follow you back because you follow them most of the time as long as you're in private. You're not going to get like follow back or follow back. Like if you follow 100 people, do not expect 100 follow backs. Like I would expect like about maybe 15 to 20. And you want to make sure that you're kind of like recycling. Like if anybody's not following, we used to have apps for this, but now it's gone. So you have to, if anybody unfollows you, you don't really know right now until we somehow figure that out with Instagram, but I'm unfollowing anybody who doesn't post. Like if you haven't posted since like February of 2000, I don't even know what the year is, 2019, I'm not even gonna keep you on my page. Like you're not on Instagram. or if I see that you're like never like liking any of my stuff, I don't even know who you are, and like liking any of my stuff, I don't even know who you are, and like I'm just gonna unfollow you. And so that's kind of what I'm doing now that we don't have the app. If you have it on private now, just go to your settings. Okay, so Alana, do you have any questions?
Okay, yes. So I just took like 3 pages of notes, so let me just get back to my questions. All right, so I think you answered the one about, I think being private was a big deal that you answered, because I had a girl wanting to know, how do you get those follow backs? So basically you're saying you notice you get more follow backs being private. So let's see. So how do you grow your network on Instagram? Like, where do you find and choose your people that you're going to follow?
I find them through, when I first started, when I had 200 followers, it was friends of friends. So like, obviously my friends were going to college and like branching and having lives. So I would go to their profile and I would just go to their most recent photo and follow everybody that liked it.
Is that okay? So is that like do you have other ways that you do it, or just more like, because what if some people have a lot of, because like in Facebook, we go like don't friend suggested friends, especially if you're friend with your team, because that's mostly likely like intertwined your circles. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So is it not like that on Instagram? Like, or can you search for people like through businesses or?
Yeah, I do that as well. You can go through kind of like you were saying with the gyms. I do like local, like business, like boutiques, again, Starbucks, anything like that. Like anybody that tags themselves there, it will show up as well. If you just search the Starbucks, like it's gonna bring up local ones. Click it, and then you can click their tags, and that way you see everybody that made a post at Starbucks and like tagged it. You can follow all of those people for like a local team, and then I also will use that option to go like expand far away. So I will say like Starbucks, then I'll like look in Oklahoma or something like way far away from me and branch out on social that
way. Okay, cool. Cause yeah, I was curious about that too, just cause when I was new, I don't do any Instagram. So, but when I was new, I was trying to find people and it felt like I didn't know how to find them on there. I don't know. So that's why I started doing basics. So, okay. So that's good. Let's see. Page back. So do you get most of your customers or distributors through your stories? Do you also message people? And when you sign distributors, how do you train your distributors to work, whether it's Instagram or however they're going to do it?
Okay, so when I sign distributors, I get them from my stories. Like 99% of the time, it's all from stories, okay? Like the algorithm right now, everybody is doing stories. So I post every single day about the business, like everything, like anything, the business, the products, everything. Like that's just how I am. And then I make it all very personal. Like I said, it's always, the product's always in my hands. I am always talking about my story, what I'm doing, things like that. And then I open positions on my team several times through the month, like maybe 2 to 3 times. And those are exclusive. You sign up when I open them, and I make it very urgent. So that's something that's like, as soon as I open a position, I'm like, okay, I'm about to, I'm just letting you guys know I have big news coming soon. All right, great. Now, okay, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I've had so many people asking me. I'm about to open up positions for to be able to work from home and bring in an extra, and I just pick. It's never really the same income amount. Like if I'm like, it's September, so in September, if I open up spots for $500 a month, it's not $500 a month the next time I do it. Next time it could be like, all right, somebody who's looking maybe around $1,000, $2,000 a month, and then the next time it might be like, I don't know, like an extra $700 to $1,000. Like I just switch it up. And whenever I open them, I have people, and sometimes I'll do a poll, sometimes I'll say swipe up. But I like to keep it different so the people that are watching kind of never are seeing, like, expecting something. Like, I always keep them on their toes. And when I do that, people see that urgency. I'm like, I only have 5 positions, and these go very quickly, kind of like how you were saying with the party. These go very quickly. So if you're interested, you want some info, go ahead and swipe up and tell me a little bit about yourself, and I'm going to see if it's a good fit for us. Again, with the quality over quantity is very important. So I want to make sure, like, I talk to them. I do like a little interview process, like, okay, where do you work? Do you love it? How much are you looking to make? Like, how much, how many hours a day are you looking to put into this? Things like that. Are you coachable? And then once I get through that, I'm like, okay, cool. Like, I feel like this will be good. And then I kind of, like, I just get them signed up from that point. And then every time I sign somebody, I post my story like, okay, 1 spot gone, 2 spots gone, 3 spots gone, 4, oh, now they're all gone. Sorry, you're going to have to wait till the next time. And then at that point, I'll still have messages like, oh, I still really want to do it. And I'm like, all right, sometimes I can squeeze one more person in. Sometimes I can't, because if I have too many, I can't train them right. So I'm like, okay, you have to wait till the next time, but I'm going to put you first on my list. I'm planning on opening them next Wednesday. Can you start Wednesday at 12? And then they're like, yes. And it gets me that better like ratio of follow-up. I'm still talking to them often. I'm still liking their stuff. I turn post notifications on. So every time they post, I'm getting a notification. And as far as getting them like trained, or real quick about messaging, I kind of talked about that in the beginning, but like when I swipe up and see who's watching my story, and I offer them the business with a simple message, like kind of just saying something like, hey, I know you've watched, I see that you see my stories a lot, and I'm not sure if you've ever been interested, but I'm actually about to open positions on my team. And I wanted to ask you first because I feel like it would be so dumb for me not to. Your family is so adorable. And I was just curious, like, could you use extra income? Something super simple. I never say the same thing. My words are always different, but that's just in the realm of like what I say. But as far as training them, I immediately get them started with like, they need to know a little bit about product knowledge, a little bit about lingo, like things like that. And I just really I get them started on social media. And then, like if they say like for once we have like a little like hundreds list section and like talking about messaging and things like that. Sometimes they'll say like, okay, well, I want to do a party. And sometimes they're like, no, absolutely not. Like not doing a party. I want to do it online. And I kind of like gauge it from there. So if they're more of a party person, I send them a video on parties. And if they're more of a social media person, then they see all my videos.
That's cool. All right. Well, one last question for you. I know we're getting to an hour now. We got to get Lauren on here. Do you do host posts on Instagram?
No.
You don't do any host posts on Instagram. That is super interesting. Okay. So you don't do host posts on Instagram. All right. That's cool. Well, that was an easy answer.
Yeah, it's too much work, and it's a lot to remember to get, like, set the reminder, hey, send me a message. All right, I need screenshots. Like, you're relying on them to screenshot you from their poll, and like sometimes they don't see the message in time, and then you got to explain how to go and re-look up the poll. It's just a lot. Like, it's a mess.
Tough.
So yeah.
I will tell you this. I mean, I don't do Instagram, but I saw a really good idea you might like. Somebody put it in a chat I'm in where they're doing an Instagram post, but it's a photo of them, and it says, my friend is looking for people that want to make money, blah, blah, blah. If interested, text this number.
Ooh.
And so now there's literally no middle work. So if they see their story, and it has your phone number on it, so you make the story photo of yourself, maybe on your phone or whatever, and then it says text this number, then they're just going to text you, and you have full reign. So I just saw that like yesterday, and I thought that was super cool. So since you don't do it, I figure I'll tell you.
Dude, that's awesome. I'm totally going to do
I'm going to try that on Facebook. I'm like, that's freaking genius.
That is amazing. Yeah, that's so much easier because the only reason I didn't do it, I'm like, dude, I don't like relying on somebody to answer my message and go screenshot. And I'm like,
yeah, it's too much. It's totally different than Facebook. So maybe that'll work for you.
Awesome. Okay, so Lauren, I'm going to unmute you. Hold on. Wait, I spelled your name wrong. Okay, here we go. You're unmuted.
Oh, hi. I don't even know what you guys need me for. Like, literally, that was so amazing. I'm ready to get off here and go work. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited.
All right, I'm so pumped. Tell us all about the Facebook world. What are your tips? How do you work it? All the things.
Okay, all the things. Oh my gosh, I feel like it's basically just everything kind of that they did, but on a different platform and online instead of in person. But you guys, I've been doing this for 8 years. I have a presidential diamond, and I have done it all. Okay, we were the black, green, and bling queens. We went and wrapped people, like had wrap parties that lasted like 2, 3, 4, 5 hours. Like, I'm talking about craziness. And so when I found, like, I remember the first time somebody had a wrap party and posted it on Facebook, we made fun of them. They were like, we got a customer. We were like, what weirdos? Like, who posts on social media that they had like a successful wrap party? Weirdos. Like, it's only for like the food we're eating. Like, what? Okay, well then all of a sudden we realized like, hello, this is like a huge market. We instantly can connect with hundreds of thousands of millions of people all over the world, right? So I know that you guys all pretty much know how to work social media. Especially, you know, Facebook is like one of the easiest, but what I really wanted to communicate to you guys is how I'm maximizing it now, and what is working now with the algorithm and whatnot. And so I just want to say my number one tip, you guys, is to rebrand. And I know that that sounds crazy and like weird. I'm not saying like, don't say it works, or like, don't be black, green, and bling. But like the way that we used to be able to work on social media is by promoting, join our team, buy our products, $99, you know, my work shirt, like, you know, stuff like that. And that used to be, you know, kind of like ads, posts used to be attractive to people. But all of a sudden, like, I don't know who woke up one morning and was like, I don't want to be sold to on Facebook. Like, I just want to stalk everybody and like only like their pictures and never actually talk to them or connect. And so we have to grow and learn with that. And so I've rebranded myself away from posting a picture of the keto coffee package, you know, like here's me and my keto coffee package, to here's me and my super cute Hello Pumpkin, you know, mug, to, you know, I love my Not Your Mama's Mocha. Like I have totally changed the way I talk about my products, the pictures that I post, the clothes that I'm wearing. Like, y'all, it has nothing to do with I hate it works. It is to keep people curious. People want to come on and like see you, just like they were saying, like they want to follow you because you're weird and like cool and crazy. And they always know me and my mom are going to be into something like radical and totally over our heads. And they always want to like log in to see what she ordered on Amazon Prime because we forgot because we were drinking wine. Like it's so much fun. And so I had to change that to, I just told my mom today, I'm like, I just made myself a blogger. Do I have a blog? No. Am I going to get one? No. But I update my story and I go live like I am a blogger that everyone wants to know, hear, and see about. And so that has like totally changed everything for me. I have way more interest. You know, people are coming on to see my live about help us name my plant. And then I've got my Not Your Mama's Mocha and I'm drinking it and I'm talking about am I skinny yet? Like, you know, I've lost 20 pounds in 6 weeks with this stuff. It's crazy. You guys got to do it. Chocolate detox. Like, come on. Who doesn't love chocolate? And doing that has created a curiosity where they're so interested in this product, but they have to message me to find out what it is, because you cannot go on my page and see keto coffee, this, here's my website, go online. Like, no, they have to message me to find out like what it is, what I'm using, how I lost weight, what's mermaid juice. Like all those things have helped me so tremendously much. And especially with the algorithm, I'm keeping things very like, you know, not secretive, but just intriguing and curious, so curious that they have to reach out. I'm sharing my story. Like, you guys, I have been through more than my fair share of craziness and heartache and grief. And so I know it's not always easy to get online and be raw and real and vulnerable, but you have a story, even if your life, nothing ever really even like major happened to you. You have a story. You're a mom, you're a sister, you're a wife, you're a friend. Like, you have a story. Something that you have thoughts, you have feelings, you have goals, you have things that excite you, that, you know, intrigue you, and that, you know, light you up, and that make you, you know, want to get out of bed in the morning. And I'm telling you right now, 1 million people in this world have the same exact feelings like you do. And they're going to hear your story and they're going to connect to that. They're going to relate to you. They're going to feel like they know you, just like these ladies said. They're going to feel like they're connected to you. And they're going to reach out to you and be like, oh my gosh, that's why I started my Me Too Boo group. Because every single one of us could come on here right now and share something. And somebody could be like, oh my gosh, me too. I felt that way. I went through that. I had that happen. But I was able to overcome, or, you know, whatever. And so that is, y'all, just because you don't, you know, have success yet, or you're brand new, or you've lost rank, or like your team quit, or I don't know where you're at in your business or your life or your journey, but wherever you're at, share that and get raw and real. And it doesn't mean you have to come on live and like ugly cry with everybody like I do because I'm a crazy. But, you know, it does mean just sharing, you know, hey, this is who I am. This is why I joined this crazy side hustle. This is what I'm hoping to do, or this is what I've been able to do. And I want to help XYZ many people do the same thing. Like, that's what I'm passionate about. Who feels this way? Anybody else? I always say that, like, does anybody else feel this way? Drop this emoji in the comments, because that's just me. Like, I don't know anybody else. And so I promise that's going to bring you your tribe, the people that are supposed to be connected with you, join your business, you know, buy from you, whatever. And they're going to stay with you because they're invested and they feel like they know you and love you, and you know and love them. And then I'm just connecting, you guys. I'm totally connecting. I'm being truly authentic, genuine. I am a professional friend on Facebook, you guys. We get paid to be friends with people on Facebook, on social media. And so, like, if your best friend called you and was like, I'm sick, like, I can't go to work today, you'd be like, oh my gosh, girl, do you want me to bring you some soup and like some immunity and greens? Okay, well, guess what? If someone is sick on Facebook, I am in their inbox. I'm like, oh my gosh, Katie, you have a headache, girl. I've got these keto energy and they've helped my migraine so much. You've got to take them. I'm going to send you a sample. Like, you're going to love it. Don't worry, girl. You're going to get better. Praying for you. And then guess what? In 2 or 3 days, I'm like, hey, Katie, are you feeling good? Like, did that thing help you? Like, I know it really helps me. Like, I love those keto energy for my headaches. How are you feeling? Or, hey, did that immunity help you? Like, when you were sick, girl, that keeps me going. Like, you know, you got kids and it's like back to school season, you got to have these, girl. Like, I'm going to send you some samples. Like, y'all, seriously, we get paid to be friends with people, but we have to be genuine. I was stuck for so long because all I was doing was half like messaging and we're commenting to people like, love this, great picture, cute, awesome. But people didn't feel the love. They didn't feel, that's not my personality. If I saw you in person and you were my friend, I wouldn't be like, cute. Like, I'd be like, oh my gosh, hey, you're so beautiful. Look at your hair. Okay, tell me about the kids. What's going on? Like, you guys, I do that now on social media. I put crazy gifts that are like awesome, and I get on everybody's story and I react and I comment and I'm like, oh my gosh, I love this. Your kids are gorgeous. They look just like you, girl. Well, then guess what? Since I've been doing that, not only do I have more people interested in talking to me and just more conversations going, and but they're getting on my lives. They're interacting with me. And when they get on my lives, I'm like, oh my gosh, Jessica, how are you feeling? You just had surgery, girl. Are you doing good? And she's like, oh my God, yeah, thank you. And, you know, and I'm in my inbox. Hey, thanks for getting on my live. I'm so glad to know that you're doing better. Y'all, this has been an absolute game changer for my business. Instead of being a robot on Facebook, I'm your best freaking friend, and I am going to talk to you every day like you are my best friend, and that has totally changed the game as far as my interactions, my enrollments, everything. Like, truly everything. It's so much easier to be like, hey, Jessica, where do you get your hair done? Oh my God, I love your hair today that you posted today. One girl, I was like, I love the post that you just made. It was so awesome. She's like, thanks. I was like, hey, and also I'm doing a $100 giveaway. I don't know if you'd mind. Like, I'd love to enter you. Would you be interested? And they're like, yeah, girl, you know, heck, put me in. But if I just like reached out to her and was like, hey, I'm doing a giveaway and like, I'm going to give away $1 million and you can win the lottery tomorrow. Like, do you want to be entered? They're like, no. Like, so it's just like being personal, just all of a sudden opens up their mind to, you know, everything. You know, honestly, they're so much more open to make a post or put something up on their story. One thing I've been doing lately is I'm offering free, like a couple of free samples. I picked like 10 people and I'm sending them free samples as long as they are willing and commit to making a either going live or making a video for their story and tagging me in it of them trying the pumpkin spice coffee for the first time. And so I had like 10 people do that. That was like super cool. I've been getting some great feedback from that. But I want to tell you guys what I've been doing for parties, since this is kind of like what we're talking about. I have always done opportunity parties on Facebook. Well, like, we used to just post a bunch of words and like pictures. But what I have done is I've been going live, and then actually we've been doing a try it, like a sip and sample here in our house. So we actually have people coming over trying the products, and then I'm still going live in that opportunity meeting online, but it's in the event. And so I'm inviting people, whether they can be in person or just come like and hang out with me to be on the live. But it's letting them see like that people are there, they're excited, they're trying the product, and then I'm still telling them about the product, and I'm offering them and telling them about the opportunity, but they're online and they're not actually even in person. And so that's been like giving us some like huge feedback, because even when people aren't there, they're able to see what they're missing out on. And then they're able to still kind of hear about, you know, the products and the opportunity as well. And they're not really, you know, yeah, they didn't get to try anything like here in person. And we always give away something for free. So there's always an incentive to be here in person. But they're still not missing very much. And I'm still getting great feedback like, hey, I saw your live. I'm so sorry I couldn't make it, but it looked so much fun. I want to come next time. And so that's what I'm doing. And if you bring a friend, you get $5 off your wrap. If your friend wraps, you get a free wrap. Y'all, like we just like rock out with online meetings, but we do stuff in person too. So it's kind of all combined and kills two birds with one stone, or whatever that is. The only other thing I wanted to say, you guys, is when you're reaching out to invite people to an event or to a party or anything like that on Facebook, I don't say, hey, Alana, do you want to come to my party tonight? Because it's going to be really fabulous. And I have this brand new pumpkin spice coffee, and it burns fat, and I've lost 20 million pounds, and I'm invisible now. Do you want to do this with me? Are you free tonight? They're like, what? Ignore. Instead, I'm like, hey, Katie, what are you, like, how are you, girl? Like, what are you up to on Thursday night? Like, I do this usually 2 days before. I will say, hey, Katie, what are you up to on Thursday? And normally they're like, you know, hey girl, like I literally had a girl today say, oh my gosh, I'm sorry I missed your message yesterday. I'm free tonight. Like, what's up? And I was like, hey, I'm having a sip and sample, like a girls' night at my house tonight. I'd love for you to come by. We have some brand new pumpkin spice latte, and I have wine and some like samples and stuff. And I'd love for you to swing by if you're free. And you've already said that you're free, basically. So I'm like, you know, I'd love to swing, like, have you come by since you're free. And that has like changed everything. They're like, oh my gosh, really? Well, I can't stay too late because this or this. And I'm like, oh my God, no, girl. It's kind of a come as you, like, come and go as you want, and just hang out and then just try some stuff. That way you can see what you think. And literally, y'all, that has changed everything for getting people there, because they already said that they were available. And then if they don't show up, then I'm still going live. And sometimes I tag them. I'm like, miss you, girl. We missed you. We wish you were here. This wine is so good. It's killing it. This pumpkin spice latte. You're missing out. If you're not here, you're not getting skinny, baby. Woo, you're missing out on what we're doing. And y'all, FOMO is real, okay? You've got to get to those blues and like punch them where it hurts. Because like, if I know somebody's having fun without me, I'm mad, and I'm going to do whatever it takes to get there the next time. So I love that we do that, and like have changed the wording to where it's so much more fun and like simple. Just like they said, you guys, just like these are our friends. Why do we get on Facebook and think we have to be robots? Like, I would invite you to a party by being like, hey, Jessica, do you want to come to my birthday party? Thank you. Yes or no? Like, I would just not ever say that. So I think that is truly key, you guys. For building on Facebook with these parties and stuff. But what I do love that so many people say is that, you know, professionals promote. You know, like if you're a professional, you promote an event. And I'm going to tell you right now, like any kind of event, whether it's a try it or green carpet or a conference or just, you know, an online event through Facebook, you have to get really good at promoting it, because if you're not, no one's going to come. Like if you're not talking about it in your stories, if you're not going live a couple of days before or a couple of times a week before the event and just getting people pumped. And what I love to do, you guys, is I'm always tagging like everywhere I am at in my stories. And I'm always looking at who's there, like who's been there like a couple of hours before me, who goes there later. And I'm saying like, oh my gosh, I was just there, and I'm getting in and connecting with them. Or I was just there, or hey, I just left there, or I was, I'm coming there like, in a couple of hours for this party, or I have this local party. I noticed, you were local. I'd love, for you to come and check out, like, whatever. And that's helped me so much too. But honestly, you guys, just getting into my circle of influence and inviting, like, becoming a professional and like promoter is truly just, it's so much easier to be like, this event's going to be awesome. It's going to be so much fun. You're going to learn this. You're going to, learn how I built my empire through social media. You're going to get to try some products, like, and doing that though through social media has been like so, I mean, y'all, we went from like our first like event to like no one coming to literally the next week. We got so like good at just all week long talking about it in my story, and we went live about it, and we invited people, and we were personally inviting them to, we had 2 distributors sign up last week, like 3 customers. I've got another girl that's like on the fence to sign up as a distributor. And so it was just so much more fun. We sold like, I think $100 worth of product, like cash right there, you guys. So you have to be good at promoting this in a fun way that just makes it seem like we're here to hang out and like have fun. Where are you guys? Like, come on. So I don't know, hopefully that helps. Like,
oh my gosh, I do love that so much. And I love how you're like talking about it on your stories and then making them feel like they have FOMO, because that's one of the things that, like, why I signed up. Like, literally, I'm like, dude, you're going out with the girls, like, you're having fun. And I'm like totally red, not even blue, but like being a mom, being trapped in the house all the time, like not having that out time. I mean, how many times do you see on Facebook, mom groups? Hi, I need friends. Hi, I need friends. Hi, I need friends. Like, every freaking day. So I'm like, hello, this is a gold mine. And just getting that tribe together. I mean, think about, for just a sec, how thankful are you for your tribe? Like, your team, like the people you see at events. Like, do you not like get so hyped? I mean, I was just telling my team today, like, I'm so excited for next week. And then like those are my people. And so these moms are looking for us, okay? Like, they're looking for a tribe. They're looking for friends. And this is where you step in, get bold, and ask, hey, come hang out with me at Starbucks or at my house or whatever you're comfortable with. But you have to take that step and just do the things, and they follow. So, okay, does anybody have any last minute questions? I know we're running a little bit later, but this has been, no, it's been amazing. Like, I am loving all the tips. And I feel like this is not something we hear a lot. So like, this was really, really great. And I'm going to give everybody like 30 more seconds if you guys are not.
Oh, and one last thing, you guys. If you are going live on Facebook, if you keep the live around 10 minutes, you can save it and actually upload that to IGTV. I've been doing that just to kind of connect the 2 worlds. That has helped me a lot to just kind of a quick little hack after I go live, like sharing my recipes or whatever it is. I do actually upload that to IGTV because Facebook is putting a lot of money into stories, lives, and IGTV right now, you guys.
Yeah, that is a great idea. And you guys also make a video of you telling your story for IGTV as well, and upload it to your wall, because it sucks so many people in, and they want to hear you talk. They want to hear your voice. If you're not making videos, make freaking videos.
Awesome. That was really, really good, you guys. Thank you all for getting on here and sharing everything.
Of course. I loved it so much. Okay, I will go ahead and stop the recording, and then